Hello YouTube, my name is Plazukas, and this is the least important video that I will make on my channel, probably forever. But initially, after not liking the decal system inside Destiny Rising, I have slowly but surely started to dive deeper into it. And although I think dyes should be in the game and you should have the ability to do that and not have to spend money or get it through certain draws or other activities, I do think the decal system makes it so that you can potentially have pretty unique cosmetics and costumes inside the game for the future. Now, there are a lot of systems here that you might not be familiar with, and I'll be honest with you, maybe it's best not to be familiar with them. If you were to get, let's say, the higher tier skins inside the game, where let's say for me the wolf is this skin here. This skin allows 3 slots to be expanded upon specifically. Whereas something like the initial set or the initial costume that you get for a character, which in this case would be Caber, you only have 1 slot for a decal system. Let me show you that in actual real game. If I go down here and I try to equip something to, well, in this case, I'll actually select Caber. Okay. You have to select it. I don't know if there's another way to do this. This is the way I've been using the system. And then you go down here and you say equip. And then you can go to the decal system. You only have 1 slot here on the side. If you have a legendary version of the dust, then you probably have 2 slots. And then if you have the premium version, you'll have 3 slots for decals currently. And that means you could put them, you could have 1 decal here. I'll show you an example of it in Wolf when I go back to Wolf now. So you see an example for K-bar. If you go to Wolf here, select, and then if I go back to inventory, and then I want to check on it, these are the 3 slots. You can have it so that it basically goes on top or the bottom of each other to try to make it look seamless. I'm pretty happy with what I've done here with the Wolf. And actually, I favored, this particular decal that's part of Season 1 right now. I actually think it kind of looks cool. And there's some things you can do with it from a design perspective. So, although this system seems like it's basic, it can be expanded upon pretty thoroughly. However, it is extremely costly. If you were to come in here and buy these straight up, this is what it's currently costing you for one of these things, which is to upgrade. Okay, that specific resource is to upgrade one of these mythics into an exotic, which I have done, obviously, but in very small quantities because this system is extremely taxing. And you might think, well, you get the resource, which is already hard to get because you need to, and I'm going to show you an example here in a second with my Ikora. You get this, right? You get this, which is very hard to get because you can only get it in draws, okay? And it has a very small chance to come at 20% or at 20, and then there's a lower chance at 3, but only, I believe, when there's a slot here for it, like this one right here. And I've already used that, so you'd have to wait for another 10 stamp to get another chance at this again. And same here. Doesn't even give me an option for this one specifically. I think it might be able to drop in one of these other slots if you already have it, potentially. If you have all of these, then maybe, yeah, you do get a chance at it at 15%. So there's the possibility to get those there as well. But outside of those, you're not getting them. You're not getting them unless you go into that store and actually buy them, or you get them in the battle pass when it resets, and you have 2 purchases for 30, and that's half of what you need to do any kind of cosmetic stuff. Like I said, this is the least important video you'll ever see because it's cosmetic. You don't need this. It doesn't do anything for you, and it's really it's really costly. I do want to highlight this specific thing. As you can see, even when you have this, or this currency here, which you actually do need to upgrade the corresponding mythic, which is a random drop in both this. It's a random drop in both this pack and also the engrams. You're not guaranteed to get the upgrade version of this. It actually comes at a 10%. You're more, okay, so you're going to get this 10%, maybe not, yeah, 10%. 10% is the thing. And this is the other corresponding percentages. Like, it's very confusing. You're not going to always, it looks like you might get this one in this slot. So 24% of the time, you're going to get this right here. And once you do that, if you actually do get this, 10% of the time, it's going to be this glow. Whereas normally it would just be one of these three. That's how it's saying in the system. But you could alternatively you could not get this and get these and these and these in this slot as well. So it's very hard to even get the glows to begin with. So even if you get all of that and you're all set, you still have a chance to not actually upgrade your glow. That's how limited this option is. Now, if you already have glows on your exotics or you've already upgraded to an exotic like I did here, you can upgrade that as well. And that actually will not take any form of chance. You'll just get an upgraded version 100% of the time. So I could, in theory, Finale here, I could upgrade this, okay? And then I would have a chance at getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then a chance, like a 3% chance to get the question marks, which I don't even know what they are, right? But one of these would be available to me if I upgraded, right? Here's the problem. If I really want to expand Ikora's look, which is what I do want to do, I'll go back to Ikora here, and this is what I'm thinking about doing right now, and it could hurt me. It could hurt me. And I go here back to this section. I go check on this, right? If I wanted to, because right now with this one, I can change the color from whatever I've unlocked currently with that system, right? And like I said, I can go to Finale right now, or I can use this one right here, and I can upgrade a color palette to get red, blue, this color, this color, this color, this color, this color. However, with this one's still in Mythic. So this does not have that same ability to upgrade unless I were to try to upgrade it at the percentage at 40%. So you either do that, you either upgrade at 40% and take a chance at a loss, or you can just basically, guaranteed it, but then you can only use the color palette for the ones that are exotic. So I would be limited to this one. I wouldn't be able to use this color palette. I wouldn't be able to use the additional color palette for the top here, right? And then subsequently for Finale, it would be the same thing here. So right now, her bottoms are the only thing, like her mid right here, is the only thing that I can currently use. The bottoms, I can't actually do the color palette because it's a mythic. So I either guaranteed to get more color palettes here, which would be cool because if I actually get the face, I could do some weird stuff with this. Although, admittedly, it doesn't look as good when I actually put that stuff on it. So I'd have to change that up even more. So it's probably a good thing I don't get the extra color palette for this specific one because ultimately you just want this the body instead because it actually looks kind of better with the I don't know what it's called, opaque or creamy color on her face. That's why I did it for that specific look. And obviously this is all, iterative. I'm once I get more upgrades or more color palettes, I might change things up, differently. With this one here, as you can see, I did upgrade this one as exotic because, like I said, these glows, they're not even guaranteed to be these glows. Sometimes you get this glow and this glow. I've been lucky at 40% to get these two. Now, when I try to do this for Ikora, there is a very high chance that I'm not going to be lucky, that I'm going to be unlucky, and I'm going to lose that chance of getting that upgraded palette. I am going to do it for the sake of this video, so wish me all the luck. This is literally use or lose. And this currency, like I said, is not easy to get. And it requires you to draw, pay, or get it in battle passes. So really only pay in this case. All right. And these glows, 10% of that 24% drop, and it's not guaranteed. So 3, 2, 1. I have to do the yes. 0. It failed. That's it. You lose that currency, you lose the glow, and you don't get a chance at another glow again. That is the downside to this. You might be like, well, that was really stupid of you. Yes, that's the point. This system is very prohibitive. It's very non-intuitive. It is definitely not a good system, but for someone like me who's trying to get different looks for their costumes because Ikora doesn't really have a lot of them, I'm willing to do this, but I don't recommend it. But I did want to explain that a little bit further for those that are maybe looking into the system itself. And unless you're really dedicated, or you're looking for a specific look, then I would go with the first exotic upgrade for any item, for any mythic item. So in this case, if you get this exotic, I would just continue to upgrade the palette on this, right? Instead of doing what I just did, because you have a chance to lose out on there. Whereas if you get the one here, you can guarantee to upgrade this. But subsequently, if you get another version of this, like if I wanted to use this one, I can't use that color palette until I try to upgrade it as well. So there is that limitation. That is some of the cosmetic options inside the game. The decals are not as good as dyes, but there's some cool designs here. So let me just showcase that real quick. So I got this one that I've done for Atoll. The eyes right here are actually part of the glow that I've upgraded. And it kind of just gives that extra little, I don't know. I like it, right? And I changed her outfit from pink to blue to complement that. And then, like, obviously, Wong Wei here, like I said, underneath his chin here is part of the glow that was unlocked from the exotic part of it. And I just thought that was a cool effect. And then, obviously, with Finala, I just showed her. She has a 2 set right here. So this set right here in the middle is obviously it's in her face as well, as you can see from me adjusting it. The middle part is the glow, and then the bottom, we haven't got that far because I have to upgrade that from mythic to exotic, like I was saying. With Ikora, you have the sleeve here, which I find to be very complementary. And then I was trying to upgrade this so that I could change the color palette of this as well, because unlike Finala, in this case, if I were to get a glow on the top, I think that would look cool on Ikora's helmet in the back specifically. But I don't know. I'd have to look at it and see how it actually complements that fabric. Even it might not, so I'd have to change it up and adjust from there. So that's and then for specifically for her, I actually put that little thing that's in between her eyes on her helmet. That's the thing that that's how I did this exotic here for that specific look. And you can change the color, obviously, if you were to upgrade that stuff. But which actually that kind of looks cool in a way, you know? All right. Well, that is the cosmetic brief overview of my game. But, you know, if you're looking to do that, there is some stuff you can do with that. My name is Bazookas. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.